Hello guys, we're back with another election prediction video. This time we have Raphael Warnock, the current Democratic Senator from Georgia, versus Donald Trump. Now in this scenario, we're assuming Raphael Warnock either loses or wins re-election here. I'm going to say wins because that'll give him a lot more credibility as being a tough candidate for the Democratic Party. Now, he did win a pretty convincing victory against Kelly Loeffler, so you got to give him that. And he's a bit of a good speaker for the Democrats, so he's a bit charismatic as well. Both Georgia senators are pretty charismatic, Jon Ossoff and Warnock. But let's get right into this. Ohio and Iowa, first off, I don't think there's not a lot of African American population in either of these states, and that's one demographic I expect Raphael Warnock to do extremely well with African Americans just all over across America. That's one advantage he has against Trump that he can use. The state of Texas, I don't think it's going to go to Lane. I think Trump will probably end up winning the state by a likely margin. However, Florida does have a solid base of African American support, and I do see it getting a bit more competitive with Warnock as a nominee, but he'll still end up losing it. Virginia, I see him actually probably winning it by over 10%. Same with Biden's margin. Colorado as well. Over New Mexico, I kind of expect to go to a likely margin because I don't think Warnock would have the best appeal with Latino voters, considering they're shifting right wing. Let's head to New Hampshire and Maine. Maine, I expect them to carry by a lean margin. Same in New Hampshire, just because they still disapprove of Trump by a decent amount. North Carolina and Georgia. Georgia, I expect Warnock to win this by 1.5 to 2% victory against Donald Trump. However, North Carolina would still end up being a lean Republican margin. State of Arizona. It's very hard to say where it would go, but so far Warnock in the Senate, he's not really depicting himself as a moderate, so I think that'll honestly hurt him in the state of Arizona, and it'll make Trump be able to flip the state back to his column. However, the state of Nevada, I still think would end up siding with Warnock here against Trump. I don't think the Latino drop will be that much in that state. Nebraska second, I also expect to go to Warnock, just because even though redistricting made a bit more Republican, I think Warnock is a bit better than the average standard Democrat, so I think he'll hold that district against Trump. Now the last four states. Minnesota, I expect to be won by Warnock. I think he'll hold most of the Democrats' coalition there. And honestly, Michigan as well. I think he'll definitely do really well in Detroit-based turnout. The turnout in the area surrounding Detroit will definitely go up a bit just because we have a bit more of a younger candidate. He's also African-American, so I think that will help get a lot of turnout in the African-American areas of Detroit out very high because they have one of their own to elect. So I think he'll definitely inspire a lot of them to come out, and not because, like, let's be honest here, Joe Biden is pretty old and white, so he may not be the most enthusiastic for the state of Michigan, which is why in a lot of predictions I have him losing it. I just think Warnock will be able to inspire those types of voters to turn out a lot more because you finally have someone who's young and a lot more charismatic than Biden. He doesn't have the best debate skills, to be honest. However, the state of Wisconsin, I do think he'll get Milwaukee turnout to go pretty high, but he'll still end up losing it by a tilt margin. Now, the state of Pennsylvania, I think Warnock has a real shot at actually beating Trump here, just because I think he could be a pretty good candidate to get urban turnout out in Philadelphia. But it's all about how well you do in the suburbs. But we've seen Warnock do pretty well in the 2021 election in Georgia in the suburbs. So honestly, I have to give it to him by a tilt margin. He narrowly defeats Trump in this election prediction, just because I think he'll definitely boost up African-American turnout in a lot of these states like Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan. Those are the keys to his victory here, honestly, just based on those turnout. So let me know what you think of this election prediction in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.